I got two phones. They be looking at me crazy when I'm out in public walking around. I'm trying to get these Pokestops, baby. Damn, son. Where'd you find that? I got two phones, one for the hoes and Pokemon Go. I got two phones playing so much of my battery's low. Think I need two phones. Pokestop, please spin. Double up and don't spin. Pokestop, don't. All right, everybody. Welcome to a special edition.
Could you not cut me off? You just start one fucking episode and you already cut me off. Like I've done one show with you and you think you fucking have grounds to cut me off immediately. Okay?
Is this what it's like every Thursday?
Really good start.
It's usually much worse.
Well, okay. I wanted to start it and then you just automatically thought it was going to be you.
Oh, we talked about this before the show,
because
sir.
Your name is, you're in
Typical
the studio.
Team Mystic.
He's fucking Team Mystic. He's got all the
well, excuse me.
Welcome to fucking Fantastic Fridays. I am your main host, Proud. With me is Ursinity. How are you doing,
Hello.
Ursinity?
I am Dandy. I have praised the word of Zapdos today, so I feel energized and ready.
That's hype. I'm so glad that you did that. Also, I wouldn't really say with me. I thought so, but at this point, like acquaintanced, in this channel that I'm speaking to. We have Cyphus, a.k.a. Rude Boy. How you doing, Rude Boy?
Glory be to Blanche. Long may she reign.
Ugh, I feel physically ill. Actually, that's fine. I'm like, so I saw somebody made a chart today, and they were like, all right, the Reds and everybody else hate each other. The Reds, the Blues and the Yellows are like tenuous allies that just ignore each other, and they think they're better than each other. And the Reds and the Blues are just like most visceral hated. So I feel fine with like my blue people. Like I tolerate you. I mean, I know I'm better than you. That's like the important thing.
Sure.
As long as you're not red though. Being red, like God.
Team Red is for the bros. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I would be red.
Cool kids, right?
If I wasn't yellow, I would be red. I'm just saying that. It's like the Gryffindor versus Ravenclaw. Like that's what it is, you know? Like are you more direct or are you a fucking nerd?
I like the Hufflepuffs, so maybe I'm like.
That's why you're yellow. Like yellow is the badass Hufflepuffs. Like we're the fucking Nevilles.
Dude, Neville's the chosen one. Have you listened to that MC Chris song? It has been prophesized.
For sure. I mean, no, I haven't, but you know, I'm
missing out.
Anyway, yeah, I think we ought to do. Okay, here's my proposition. Obviously, this is a Pokemon Go episode. Because how could we not? And the three of us are playing it. I know a lot of people in the community are playing it. I think we should do a state of affairs where we cover our status on the jogger badge, because I think that'd be interesting. And then just how many you've caught and seen in the Pokedex.
All right, fine. We'll do what the fucking blue thinks.
Yep. Mine, of course, is not loading. That
two
is
yellow.
There we go.
Two yellows, one blue, and the blue makes the fucking decides that he needs to organize everything.
The yellows, you guys are like Bernie Sanders supporters. You didn't really have a plan. You just had an idea.
Did you really need to go there? Did you really need to go there?
We got some very angry tweets when we started bringing up politics in relation to Pokemon Go. So I'm not gonna go that far.
Okay.
I will start with my state of affairs though. I have 25 kilometers on my jogger badge. I have caught 49 types of Pokemon. I'm currently level 14, and my highest CP Pokemon is, as the game, I have 1,044 Vaporeon named Vaporeon.
Nice.
Okay.
How about you, Proud? I'll yellows first.
What was that? Okay, so I have my jogger. I'm at 17.4. I haven't played quite as much as other people because I'm a cool person and cool people hate Pokemon. I actually love Pokemon, but I just need to keep up the appearances like I'm still, in 5th grade.
Sure.
Pokes wise, I'm level 11. I'm a cute little boy. I'm level 11. I've caught. Oh God, how the fuck does this game work? Does anyone know?
If you pull up the Pokedex,
I've caught and seen 40, so nothing has got past me. Wait, I need to catch a Zubat.
Well, Ursi, how many have you caught and seen?
I've seen 49. I have caught 280 Pokemon.
The fuck, it just went away. Anyway, all right. So my best poke is I have a slow bro that I named Hello Friend, all lowercase letters, and he is 719. In second place though is my Golbat named Baron Squank with 645, and he's a badass.
Nice.
My Golbat's name is Galbot. He's only 596 though.
What's your starter named?
Bulbasaur because I don't care about him.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm the
that's
same way.
awesome. That's like really cool.
Let's see. Alright, so I highlighted my name not to cut Cyphers off, but also kind of to cut Cyphers off because he's a blue. My favorite name so far is I have a Paras, whatever you pronounce that, and his name is Porass. Everybody else, I've just been mixing up a letter. So like my Tauros, his name is Tuaros, and my Staryu is Staroi. Kingler is Kinglor. I find it entertaining. Anyway, so
Yeah, this is awesome. Keep telling us about this.
It's pretty exciting.
No, I actually think it's pretty funny.
I'm at 31.2 kilometers on my jogger badge.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I've caught 77, seen 78, so one of them got away from me. And my highest CP right now is a Lapras named Bessie at 1,117.
That's awesome. I'm jealous of your Lappy.
That's a pretty good Lapras name, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, what is the best Pokemon name in conjunction with the actual Pokemon that you have seen? I will start. I cannot take credit for this. It's a person I know that probably stole it from somebody funnier than her. She has a seal named Mr. Seal Yo Girl.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very funny.
Several people have told me that's the funniest Pokemon they've seen, so I'm sure that was stolen.
Oh, absolutely. She's not clever enough to do that.
Yeah, so that's that'll be mine as well. I just like my own sense of humor more than anything else, as you're aware.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I would just be like, well, let me tell you the names of the things I just told you. I just like very long titles. Like, I think one of my Steam names was like Star Breather, Chosen Child of the Crimson Aeon, or something like that. Like, that's a quality name in my book.
Oh, if only that was your name on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I am here with Star Breather, Chosen Child of the Red Aeons. How are you doing, Star Breather, Chosen Child of the Red Aeon? Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
God, I can only imagine playing D&D with you.
My original Steam name until I was playing Dota 2 and I was like, I'll probably just get reported, was Baron Octofucker Von Potato Cannon.
Yeah, I remember that one very fondly.
Sweet Jesus. So, I don't know. What are your overall takes? Like, how do you guys feel with the game thus far?
I fucking hate this Zubat right now. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've dropped like 20 Pokeballs just now.
You're actually trying to catch one as we speak.
Yeah.
I wish I had the luxury of them spawning in my house, but that is not the case.
Okay. This is like once a day. Don't fucking paint me as this bourgeoisie piece of shit. He's got all the pokes falling into his dick.
So my general impression of the game, obviously, I like it.
Got it! Yes! You got it.
All right.
Thank
obviously,
God.
I'm gonna name it.
Name it Cyphus.
Name it after me.
Binch.
Yeah. Name it Cypress as Roland.
Yeah. Oh yeah, name it Cypress.
Anyway, the game, I've enjoyed it. I already run, so when it came out, initially I was like, I don't really care about this because it got bad reviews in beta, and then it came out and people were hyping it, so I was like, oh well, like I used to use Zombies Run as my like running app because that app's pretty cool, but then this came out and this is way better, so now I just use it when I go running. And once I had like a few days of that, and now like I'm actually into it, I like go out of my way. Like I've modified my routes to and from work to like hit the most Pokestops, and like I've been going to specific delis as opposed to other ones, just because like there's Pokestops nearby, or like there's bodies of water that I can go and like catch Staryus at and stuff. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it, that's for sure. I also really appreciate like, and this is probably gonna be a longer tangent in the grand scheme of things, but the like overall social aspect of the game. And like I was just talking to Proud, and like my mom, who's like 50, called me from her work at like in the middle of the day while I was at work. She was like, Sam, please explain Pokemon Go to me. And that's like how pervasive the game is, and I think that like element of it is fascinating. And, like my dad found out about it because like some 70-year-old blues guitar player like tweeted pictures of him playing it, and he was like, Sam, please tell me, what is Pokemon Go? Like, it's just so cool to me that like it's so
pervasive.
I'm just imagining like your mom listens to this and she hears you be like, and she's like fucking 50 or something. She's like, Jesus, my son's an asshole.
No.
Anyway,
best son.
The social aspect of it is awesome. I was I live kind of near a beach, which is awesome to just like walk around and do some Poke stuff with at like midnight. So I go down there, and then I see like this group of nerds, and one of them is like a dude who works at the Magic the Gathering /comic shop that I go to. And he was like, yo, and I was like, yo, and it was cool. It was just like fucking him and his like friends and like their and fucking like girlfriends and shit. And then we just like walked around, although they were Mystic and he's like a fucking organizer. So he's like, yeah, I'm like leading this Facebook group of about like 1,000 people of like Mystics in the area. And fucking he's like, we're gonna get all these, like, we're gonna get 21 people together and take a gym all at once and make it a 21-story gym. So you can apparently do that if everyone does it at the same time. And
Yeah.
It was like, Jesus.
Wow.
And I like,
I've seen 8.
yeah, right. So I'm like, I want to see him do it, but at the same time, he's a Mystic piece of shit. Like, I just found a yellow gym and I added my Pokemon to it. The first time I contributed to a gym, and then I started walking around with these guys, and I'm showing them where the Dratini I caught is, because I'm like, oh yeah, there's a Dratini over there. Come with me. You know, I'm helpful. And we passed by my gym, and I just look back at it, and I'm like, why is my Golbat in my team again? Oh no, these fucking assholes! I show them where the goddamn Dratini is, and they take my fucking gym. The one thing I've done in my fucking life, and they just.
That's pretty cold. That's pretty cold.
It's some cold shit. But you know, now I'm friends with them, and
there just aren't enough. There just aren't enough of you yellow-bellied bastards out there to hold a gym. That's really the problem.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna say like this is the one time Yellow has a majority in anything resembling like a gathering of people.
Yeah, yeah. We in my town. Recently, all I've seen is like there's one like level 24 red guy that just takes over everything, and I hate him so much. And he has a dumb name. He's like, what's his name? It's like oh god, it's something about a pickle, luscious pickle or something. Like he's
I love that guy, dude. I follow him on YouTube.
Yeah, and he just takes over all our gyms. As I say that, the gym I have a gym like 2 blocks away from me. But it's populated by blues, and they're all actually pretty garbage. After this recording, I should just go take the gym.
For sure. Dude, there's a yellow who owns a gym, and his name is Pinoy Justin. And I'm just so glad that we're getting these kinds of quality names.
Yeah. All my friends in real life that are close to me are yellows. So that was initially why I chose yellow. And I'm the ride or die kind of person when I align myself, whether it's like Horde, obviously, for WoW, or I don't know, the Bloods when we talk about gangs, like, you know, you got to have those hard stances. So
you're a hardcore blood, Ursi.
Once I chose yellow, I was like, yo, yellow is going down. I meant Latin Kings. Sorry, I misspoke.
Oh, you're a Lat King. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, can't win them all.
Oh, I mean, I win enough.
I'm with you on the names. It's terrible to see somebody taking there's a guy near my office who basically owns a gym that I'm not even going to try to take it. And his name is Father D's Nuts.
You should kill that person.
Yeah, I'd love to fight that guy and just punch him in the face.
Actually, no, just like, I mean, we won't, if you want to do it, we won't release the episode. And
okay.
I think that'll be a fine use of time, and like this won't be evidence or whatever, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know at least a physical spot where he frequents, you know?
Yeah, so just think it over, and then we'll decide what we want to do after.
So, okay, Here's something to get into a little bit. The crazy stories that are coming out about this, because you're seeing a lot of hoax stories. That freeway accident story was all over the place. In fact, I got an email about it at my office today with them, you know, advising us to be careful on the roads because Pokemon Go players are causing accidents everywhere.
Fucking hooligans.
Yeah. But I have seen stories about people like being lured into areas by lures, you know, being thrown up, which was something we talked about like a little bit on the Monday shows. But, you know, we went downtown and you see somebody throw up, 2 lures over these 2 Pokestops that kind of overlap one another. And they're people lures. I mean, people come out of the woodwork when those things go up, and they you know, in a highly populated like downtown area, you know, we go down there even still. We've popped down there a couple of times, and it, like, no joke, 60, 75 people just all in this small little, you know, Pokestop gathering area because the lure went up. So I can kind of buy that people are throwing up lures to possibly lure people into things other than, you know, just good old-fashioned Pokemon catching fun.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything about that or seen any of that stuff that's coming out?
I have kind of my prerogative on all of this, and sure, I'm biased because I like the game and I like playing it, and I don't like it when people blame like video games on crime. But my prerogative is basically that like somebody that's mugging people by luring them to an area with poke lures is going to be mugging people regardless. This is just another way for them to do it, right? It's not like somebody that wasn't a criminal suddenly became a criminal mastermind because Pokemon Go came out, and they were like, "Oh man, I can spend $8 on lures, and then I can rob people for more than $8." Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
person's gonna be mugging people and being a criminal anyway. Same
I
thing
mean,
with
With like
Sorry,
car
you-
accidents.
Strategically, like if you're going to mug someone, doing something that'll get you a gathering of people is not the strat. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not a
that's-
but it's a gathering
professional
of
mugger.
nerds.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
No, I think you're
most
right.
of the people I see playing Pokemon Go at midnight, they're not like totally fucking goobers. Like,
I mean-
it's like a nerd plus like a +2 nerd or something. Most of them.
Well,
Yeah,
or it's multiple nerds, and at the very least, somebody can call the cops.
Yeah, like if you're good at mugs, I mean, you know, you see someone alone and you do it. You don't try to get like 40 people and you're like, all right, by the way, guys, I have a small knife and there are 40 of you with phones. This surely will go perfectly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just like people used to say that, like, especially in New York City, which I live close to, fortunately not in. There's this
I've
whole
heard of
big
that.
thing where people were saying, "Oh, well, don't wear iPhone headphones. Get like generic headphones because muggers are going to target people with iPhone headphones because they know you have an expensive phone." And like that kind of stuff, like whether it's Pokemon Go or anything like that, like muggers are going to mug people. It doesn't matter, you know, it's not the game's fault. Just be smart about what you do, whether it's playing Pokemon or doing any other hobby that takes you out and walking around. Like, you know, maybe don't walk down dark alleys, whether you're playing Pokemon Go or just taking a shortcut to work. Like, just don't do that stuff.
Unless there's
So-
like a Dragonite, then you know, roll the dice.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, you know, a guy's got to gamble, right? My friend texted or tweeted, I think, she was like, "There's a Dragon Knight 5 minutes away from me. I just ran out of Pokeballs," and I was like, "Why could you not have told me that before? I would have driven to your house 5 minutes away from you, but you didn't let me know fast enough, and now I missed out on a Dragonite." But
What not?
the other thing that's been a kind of point of contention is people are like, "Oh, it's making people unsafe because they're walking like with their heads down, like looking at their phone." But again, like my prerogative is still that like stupid people are gonna do stupid things, whether they're playing Pokemon Go or they're like texting their friends. And like, you know, somebody that's gonna be playing Pokemon Go and driving is still probably gonna be doing something stupid while driving. And it's
Yeah.
not
I mean,
end of
the driving doing Pokemon thing. Like, I was on campus today, and I saw this dude just like kind of stop in the middle of the road. I mean, there were no cars around, so it wasn't like he was being dangerous. Like, he checked and stuff, but it was just like, all right, that guy just stopped in the middle of the road and looked at his phone. I know exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have flirted with that
Me?
because no, definitely not you. My neighborhood has a ton of stop signs, so it's very easy for me to just put my phone in my like one of my like
Yeah.
drink places, and then it's like, oh, it vibrated. Then the next stop sign, I look and it's like, all right, it's a Pidgey. I don't care. But if it was something cool, then I'd be like, all right, I'll pull over, hazards, because like nobody is gonna care.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean, if it's like not a crowded street and you pull over, whatever, just because you felt it vibrate, like that's no different from, you know, getting a text message and then pulling over and answering the text. You know, that's fine, as long
Well,
as you're
yeah.
not doing it while you're driving.
it's kind of when you bring up that difference, I realize that I wouldn't do this for my friends, but I would do it for a Cubone.
Oh yeah, because your friends suck. I mean, I know a couple of them, and they're not me, and yet you still just pay attention to them.
My friends can wait. Cubone and Tentacool cannot.
yeah.
Well, yeah, he's on a
Cubones
timer.
are practically once in a lifetime. It feels
Humans
like.
are forever. Friends are temporary.
Exactly.
I've been riding
should
around
transfer
with Roland's wife. We've been playing. She
There's a sentence.
she and a buddy of mine.
Holy shit, yeah, man, Jesus. Anyway,
We've been so she.
we definitely won't release this one.
He says this from the account named Evan Wood.
Yeah, that's true. With Roland, you know, behind me typing furiously. He's aware
Oh,
that
I'm
I'm
sure.
spending a lot of quality time with his wife. All right, but no,
You can hear me?
yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Just go.
So I've been riding around with her a ton, and she'll have my buddy Chase. He'll ride shotgun. I ride in the back. We got our phones plugged in. Everybody's charging. And we'll hit all because right around the campus nearby us, they're just a shitload of Pokestops. So anytime we all start running low on Pokeballs, we'll just go do a lap around there. But occasionally a Pokemon will pop up, and she'll freak the fuck out and just ram this massive Forerunner over to the side of the road and grab her phone back so that she can start catching that fucking Pokemon. She gets excited, very excited. She's a dangerous person on the road.
God, I woke up
That
today.
concerns me.
Yeah, that's That's probably a negative thing. I mean, joking about stuff's great, but don't die, please, friends.
Yeah.
No one, please die. Anyway, I woke up today and I was like, I'm gonna be a little bit late for class, and I saw there was a Ghastly 3 fucking foot whatever the fuck's away. I was like, do I get up now and try to get this Ghastly, or do I sleep a little bit extra? And it was the hardest decision of my fucking life.
Okay, have you had success with the tracking? I mean, do you feel like it works decently?
Dude, I got a Dratini out of it, so yeah, I think it fucking worked.
Because I've had errors along the way, for sure.
Sometimes they just disappear. Like the rare Pokemon, the ones that you notice that you're tracking and it doesn't work, because like, you know, you're gonna notice ones you care about the most. Like they have a very limited timer on like how long the rare Pokemon are up for.
I mean, we've experimented a little where, like, you know, we I think there was like a Geodude or something that was nearby, and so we decided to start, you know, testing the tracking out. And so we went, I'd say, like 150 meters in one direction, didn't see any change in the 3 footsteps or footprints. So we went back, went, you know, about 150 meters the opposite direction, didn't see any change. We went back to the dead center, and then, you know, started walking to the left of that initial spot, to the right of that initial spot. And so, I mean, I don't know, like, what do you think the distance is roughly that a footprint covers?
It's supposed to be the radius of a circle. Like the circle that you have, your scan distance for actually past shit.
Oh, really? I've heard that it's 100 meters each one. So like 3-step means 300 meters, give or take. 2-step means 200 meters, give or take. 1-step means 100 meters, give or take. Yeah. I've also had Pokemon disappear. I mean, they have to be timed, right? Obviously, they
definitely are. Because I got to Dratini, and then I was going with those Mystic people, and then like we just barely got to it, and like a couple of them like were able to click on it, and then other people had it like disappear, and it was all at the same time it disappeared. So, yeah.
Yeah, a good friend and I went on a like Pokemon safari, and we chased a Mankey for probably like 15 minutes, and then we got it within 1 step, and then it disappeared.
That's rough.
We've had some struggles like that. That's just the reality of like the kind of system, though. Like that stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been hunting for specific Pokemon. Like my area, it's a little hard to find like concentrated areas of water Pokemon because like I don't have like a large beach or like a large lake near me, but we have some ponds and lakes that spawn extra water Pokemon. But I don't have anywhere good to like farm like Staryus or Magikarps or anything compared to some people that I've been reading on like the Pokemon Go Reddit and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm a little jealous of that. But what are you guys' area Pokemon? I know, like, for instance, in my area, there are a ton of bug Pokemons, Venonat, Weedle, Caterpie.
I think that's just everyone.
Yeah, I see a lot of those too. See a lot of I know Rattatas and Pidgeys are huge everywhere.
Yep, and Eevees are also like pervasive.
I have like not seen a single fucking Eevee, but everyone around here has hella Eevees. I have one Eevee. I've seen one. My whole fucking life, one Eevee. That's my life, okay?
Oh, wow.
I get a lot of Nidorans as well, and the occasional Oddish.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Oddish is pretty rare for me, but I have seen them around. Like I haven't actually seen one, but I've seen them on the tracker.
So I don't know. Around here, we get a ton of Geodudes. Good chunks of Diglets and Dugtrios, Rhyhorns.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, I've never seen any of those Pokemon.
I've seen one Rhyhorn.
I saw Rhyhorn on my tracker, but I could never track it down. I've caught one Geodude, and I've never seen a Diglett or a Dugtrio.
See, because like I have, you're talking about the Magikarps. Like I have one Magikarp that magically spawned near the tiny fucking lake that we happen to have nearby. That's all I've seen of that. The Staryu, I caught a never caught a Staryu. Had one hatch in an egg.
Okay. Yeah. In my area near the beach, there's like a bunch of like Slowpoke and Staryu and that kind of shit.
Haven't even seen a Slowpoke.
Dude, there's like a lot of Golduck around here. Like a good number of gyms I see have Golducks. I'm like, I want to be you because Golduck's my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1. So I'm all about that shit. So yeah, what's your guys' favorite pokes? What do you like? What do you like?
So I feel like I rediscover a new favorite Pokemon every time, but like overall, I love Tentacruel, Seadra, cool. Starmie. I'm big into water types. Yeah. Although almost everybody's gotta love Marowak, right?
And haven't even seen one.
Yeah, dude, Marowak is cool. That's a fucking cool ass Pokemon. He's metal as shit.
Dugong is another favorite. Victory Bell. I've got a lot of favorites, but if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Tentacruel. Big fan.
Okay, that's valid. I appreciate that you like Tentacruel. What about you, mystic piece of shit? What kind of boring ass stuff are you into?
I like the psychic types. The I'm working on getting that Alakazam.
Yeah, no, that's number 2 for me, the Alakazam. Love that guy.
I'd say that's
gonna take
pretty
forever.
near the top of my list.
yeah.
I've got the Kadabra. Let's see, how many do I have left?
Oh,
to
nice,
go?
dude. I have
I've only
like,
seen one Abra in my entire Pokemon Go career.
I've
yeah,
got
I got my second Abra today in a break between one of my classes. It was like we had like a 5-minute break, so our classes are like 3.5 hours. And me and the person I was sitting next to, we found an Abra. We're like, yo, let's fucking go. 2 fucking footprints, let's go. We found it. It was great.
I've got to catch 22 more Abras before I can level up this
Jesus.
Kadabra, though. So I'm way the fuck away from that ever happening because they.
Is Alakazam 100 candy
Yeah.
thing or 50?
He's
Yeah,
100.
I was gonna say. It's been
That's good
interesting to me
evolution.
which Pokemon are 100-point evolutions and which are 50 and which are 25.
Like there are some that are lower to get from 1 to 2, but everything from 2 to 3 is 100. I think.
Is it?
All right.
No, not everything. So some.
Not every. Did you make me a liar?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. You made yourself a liar, sir.
Oh yeah, like Pidgeotto is not.
Yeah.
That's
All
So.
like
true.
the crappy ones
Yeah,
are
the
50.
fucking shitbird piece of craps.
Well, and I want to
Yeah.
say like maybe it was Caterpie or Weedle because it's only like 12 to get to the next one. Yeah, so like to get from Caterpie to Metapod is 12, and then to get from Metapod to I haven't even Butterfree, thank you, is 50.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the starters are 100 from 2 to 3. So
yeah,
any of the Pokemon you care about getting to 3 or 2.
Yeah, I mean the vast majority of them. Yeah, you're right. You're not gonna
So-
conquer any gyms with a fucking Butterfree or a.
I'm always
Yeah.
right.
I was a little disappointed in the way the CP system works because there are certain like secondary evolutions that I prefer to the third. Like I prefer Dragonair to the Dragonite. Like I love Dragonair, that's one of my favorites, but like because of the way that CP works, I can't get like, I mean, to relate to the games, right? In the games you could have like a level 99 Dragonair and never evolve it to a Dragonite,
But
and
it's still weaker.
it would be weaker, but relative to how the CP works, like CP is a lot more. You'd be a lot weaker with like
I guess that's true.
yeah,
Dude,
like the
Horsey,
CP cap would be 1,000 compared to 1,800 or whatever.
Can I just say, like, if you look at Horsey and you just look at it straight, like, don't have it be tilted or whatever, just straight up, like, fucking, like, your eyes parallel with its eyes. Horsey is
creepy.
terrifying.
I would,
Dude, it's got
I would
these
love
like
to see a
fucking
Horsey.
blood red eyes. Oh my god. Dude,
All
just
these
look
water
up Horsey
Pokemon.
Pokemon Go. It is disgusting. Like this thing will fucking murder you in your sleep. And then it'll just like take its little toot horn and just like suck up your nose or something. It's just there's something wrong with Horsey.
Horsey's so cool. I love Seadra and Kingdra once they release
Yeah.
the future generations.
Dude, yeah, the Seadra is sick.
See, and
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it as it is right now because like my Pokemon experience was always limited to the initial like 150 or 151. Like the future generations, I never really got into those games, but I'm not opposed to it, but I'm enjoying it now. It's manageable. It feels like.
Initially, like I heard a lot of people complaining, being like, "Well, I only like the first 150, whatever," and they're being, I would say, closed-minded. But somebody on the Reddit, Pokemon Go subreddit, made a really good point, and they said, like, I've started playing Pokemon Go. I never was really into the series, and half the fun for me is seeing the silhouettes and figuring out what it's like. So somebody like you that doesn't know anything past the first 151, you'd get that experience of like, a whatever Pokemon would appear, and you'd be like, this is entirely new to me, and that I feel like that would be such a cool experience.
Yeah, and
compared to
I'm enjoying the game enough
right
that
when
it gets to that point, I'm enjoying the game enough that I'll probably enjoy it doing that.
I feel like they can just add like the generations as it goes on, but like I don't know, you wouldn't want it to get like Dota, right? Where like limited hero pool is what you play originally because the game is huge and scary. And like if they were open it up like, okay, here's 1,000 fucking Pokemon, time to learn all their types right now, like that would suck.
Yeah.
Well,
for
one
new people.
one suggestion I read also, like, you still have to know the typings because types that are from further generations are still in this game, right?
Yeah,
So like
but whatever,
fairy
that's
type
fine.
and steel and stuff. Yeah, but I mean that is like an important part of like gym battling and stuff is typing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fine. That's like way less knowledge than another fucking 150 Pokemon to
no,
fucking
I mean
remember.
I agree with you, but it's still like you still have stuff from those future games in the game
Yeah,
now.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
One
well, like
interesting
steel was
thing-
new to me. Like I had never, seen the
Yeah.
concept of a steel Pokemon before.
One interesting thing to me was somebody proposed that once they start releasing more, because they said that Johto was going to be out by the end of the year. I
Oh,
read
that's
that on
awesome.
the Pokemon Go
I love
subreddit.
Gen 2, dude. Gen 2
Yeah,
is
Gen
awesome.
2's sick. My experience for context with Pokemon is I played the series, and I wasn't like a super Pokemon nerd, but I played it pretty like, I played all the games through, got all the Pokemon every time, up through Sapphire and Ruby. And Sapphire and Ruby were probably my favorite generation because that's when they put in Dive and there were a lot of cool water Pokemon. After that, I kind of fell off and I played a random game here or there. I like the idea of them adding in additional generations, though it would become too difficult. Just the way the game works, right, is you have to collect mass amounts of certain Pokemon to evolve them
Yeah,
with
so if
the
there's
way
too
Candies
many.
works. So if there's too many, it would become like impossible to evolve certain things. But the solution to that I read that I think is really cool is eventually once they have all of these Pokemon out, they were talking about doing like generations by the season. So like for the next 2 months, you would be like all the Pokemon that spawn would be Johto generation, or would be Vanilla generation, or would be
Yeah.
whatever generation, or they could even stagger it to be like every week. So like week 1 is Vanilla, Red, Blue. Week 2 is Silver,
Sure.
Gold. Week 3 is Sapphire, Ruby. Week 4 is XY, and then week 5 would go back to Red, Blue. I don't imagine they would go all the way up through like Platinum and X and Y and stuff, because that would just be way too much. But I could imagine them going up through like Sapphire, Ruby, and they would have enough Pokemon that there'd be a lot of variation and still nostalgia, but there wouldn't be too many. Also, then you wouldn't get to the dumb ones, like the stupid guy with the guardrail. Like,
Yeah.
they've been really stretching it recently.
I was thinking maybe like if they had like a shit ton of generations in, maybe you could just like decide what generation you wanted to be catching from. It's like whatever like stuff you're interacting with yourself. It doesn't really matter too much what you're interacting with like other people, right? So
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
whatever.
that's interesting.
That's fair.
I guess before they ever added anything like generation wise with the Pokemon, I'd rather they add like additional features to just the base. Because like I want to be I'm kind of disappointed with the CP system as well. I don't know, leveling abilities and all that, or actually being able to choose the abilities would have been an awesome option. It would have allowed for a lot more strategy. Not having the ability to like just challenge one of my buddies, like, hey, let's see how good that thing, or let's see if that thing's better than this thing. Let's see if let's compare the attack speed of the Jolteon to the Vaporeon.
So they've already announced the addition. So this game apparently, and I like religiously have been reading the subreddit, and so because I'm trying to keep up with these things, because like I like the game, but as it is right now, it clearly has like a falling off point.
Yeah.
Right. And they've announced publicly that trading is on its way in like theoretically in the next couple patches. They've also said they're doing bi-weekly patches, so every 2 weeks they're gonna have a patch. And they've also said that battling is in the works and will be a thing that exists. So both of those things are in the works. Apparently, this game that's currently out right now is only 0.29, so it's not even Pokemon Go 1.0. So like, as far as where it is, as being that it's only released like a week ago, it's a pretty good system, and I'm happy with it, especially for a phone game.
Yeah, it's a super basic phone game, and yeah, I'm with you there. Like, you can't fault them, because at the end of the day, it is a phone game. Maybe it's motivating people to get up and get out of the house a little bit more than the traditional game, but regardless, like, it is still entirely based on your phone.
And also the size of the company, Niantic. I mean, Nintendo is supporting them, of course, but like if you look at their company on like fucking LinkedIn or whatever, it's like between 10 and 50 people. And then if you look at a company that does like even a remotely similar phone game, like fucking, I think the Clash of Clans people have like, well over 100 employees and shit. And then like the Candy Crush nerds, they have like fucking 500 to 1,000 or something. Like they do not have a shit ton of manpower, right?
Yeah.
Well, Niantic is also the company that made Ingress, which is the
Right.
like the
Yeah.
base version of this game, basically.
Yeah.
And that game apparently had 11 million downloads, which doesn't mean they had 11 million concurrent players or anything, but like that was not a small scale
Oh
operation.
yeah.
Obviously, it's nothing compared to Pokemon Go, but you know, it's good to know that the backing company, Niantic, has some experience with doing like moderately large scale. So I'm confident they'll be able to like scale up to do
Yeah.
with Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure I know that they know what they're doing. I'm just talking like in terms of development time for
yeah,
how much time they've had to like make this and fucking how quickly they're trying to like put stuff out. Like it's definitely totally admirable, like the work that they're getting done.
Yeah.
yeah.
Although, and again, like you know, these are just minor criticisms, but I hate the battling system. I like
It is something that's not good.
I wish I
it's-
could practice it before I do it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've done it twice and I just die.
It's glitchy as fuck. Too frequently I get that error, that bug where the Pokemon you're fighting is invincible at its last HP.
At 1 HP.
I frequently have it start a fight and about halfway through decide that we're done fighting and just back me out like I ran away, but my Pokemon are still injured, which is super fucking obnoxious. Or sometimes not even being able to get a battle to begin or initiate at all. I'm sure some of that's like server capacity, but even still, I can't help but think if they had just done turn-based combat, even if it was an AI like taking over for me, what do I care? You know what I mean? Like even if it's just AI fighting with the 2 or 3 moves that my Pokemon knows before I put it up at a gym, I still think the battles would, one, be better overall. I think you'd have a better chance of holding a gym. It'd require you to think a little bit more tactically about what you chose to go in to fight at a gym. And I don't think you'd be overloading the server with people who are like obviously just like spamming. They're button mashing. You know, it's the equivalent of button mashing on their phone.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I don't know. When I think of Pokemon, I think about turn-based, right? Like, I don't want to spam click my phone. I'm gonna be straight with you. I definitely agree with you that turn-based would have been kind of better overall. And that's also like, you know, if the servers are chugging along and they're having some issues, like they can kind of go at their own speed with the turn-based. Like maybe I'll have to wait 5 seconds for my turn. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay with me. So I agree.
Yeah, there's been the gym system is not the best. I've honestly like avoided it. Like I did it a couple times just to like experience it, but until they change it or like until like I guess once I become a higher level, like I'm already like at a competitive level with most of the people in my area, with the exception of like this one freaking level 24 red guy that like a block away from me has a level 1700 executor.
Jesus.
And like yeah, it sucks. But once I get a higher level, I suppose I'll get farther into it. But one of the primary complaints I've been hearing is that it's way too easy to take gyms, and it's like nigh impossible to keep a gym for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like people are, I mean, so basically the way it works is you can make a full team of 6 Pokemon and attack like a gym with 1 person in it. Like for instance, this guy with the level 1700 Executor, I could just like steamroll this guy with a lot of potions and with like 5 Pokemon and just like, you know, batter him down, even though his Pokemon is obviously way better than all mine, and I would be fine. And that's kind of a gripe a lot of people I've been hearing. So, I mean, maybe I'm a little too forgiving, but for most games within like the first month, like I give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't think I think clearly they need more data, and if they're going to be patching the game as quickly as they've reported they're going to be patching the game, I'm sure it'll get changed to some extent, or they may just add more gyms, because if there's way more gyms, then it's way like less.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. If there were, some of your issue may be because out here, like I think it has to do with populated areas. I can only imagine what the turnover rate is like for a gym like in downtown New York, because just downtown here in my relatively small town, went to, the main street. We sat at a cafe. It's where everything is. It's where all the fucking Pokemon people are showing up to go search for shit. And we sat down to have lunch, and we of course had our phones out with the Pokemon app open, and we watched this gym across the street change hands maybe 7 or 8 times over the course of us having lunch. And, it happens because it's downtown. Like, a ton of fucking people are down there, and everybody gets the idea, oh, hey, let's go take that gym. But in the gym in the cemetery that's like more or less across the street from my house, they're like I put up a Pokemon there maybe 2-3 days into it, and it's still there. Like nobody's going to the cemetery, it turns out, to capture a Pokemon gym.
Yeah, I have a gym right across the street from my work. Unfortunately, it's like maybe 100 feet, not even, maybe like 50 feet too far to be like accessible from my office, or like anywhere I can walk with my office. So rip. But that place is just always blue. And like I probably for at least 2 days, it was just one guy with like his Vaporeon and like another couple garbage Pokemon that are just in there so people could get the bonuses. But again, like it's not really a primary concern of mine. I'm just playing it as like a collector game and as like a running motivation app.
Yeah.
And I was tweeting about this, but like, you know, I've used other running apps and like it's fun. And I started running just to listen to podcasts. But now with Pokemon, it's like my normal run has been extended by like miles just because it's like, oh, well, normally I'd finish like at X point, but then I'd see like, oh, there's a tentacle that's 2 steps away from me. And then like I'll end up running for another 5 minutes or at least walking another 5 minutes. Like it's so great for that kind of thing and getting people into physical activity that would not otherwise like
did
leave
for
the
me,
house.
dude. I bought a pair of running shoes. Like I went on
Yeah.
a Sunday and I walked for like 5 miles just for the fucking fun of it. And
Yeah,
it was great.
it's great.
I've been taking my lunch breaks and going, you know, and trying to hatch eggs. Like I think probably 10 or 15 kilometers, just because where I work, no Pokemon spawn whatsoever. But you know,
Dude,
I can still hatch eggs, so I go try to walk 5 kilometers. You know.
I saw this dude running suicides with his phone in his hand, and I was like, "This is fucking beautiful."
Yeah, so I used to just run on a track, and now like I can't do that anymore because I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
if I run on this track, I'm not going to be catching as many Pokemon. I will be hatching eggs, but now it's like I got to go run around town, and like sometimes I look like a crazy person, I'm sure, where I like abruptly stop my run to look at my phone and like swipe it a bunch. But I imagine like in the coming weeks, people that are not aware of it yet will become aware of it, and they'll just realize like, oh, this is why people are outside like looking at their phones.
So
It's great though.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
with you.
it's honestly super cool. I'm so into it.
So what would you like?
I want to say
go for
about gym battles and stuff. Like you were saying, it was kind of shitty that some people think it sucks that you can't really hold them and it's kind of easy to take them. But like at the same time, the way the game works, where like you can just get like linearly stronger. It is good that like if you're weaker than someone, even if they are way better than you and you have no chance of having a better Pokemon than their Pokemon, just based off how much you play, like you can just put forth effort. You know, like I can spend 90% of my resources to fucking take one gym over. And the dude who's way better than me will only spend like a few of his resources to like retake it.
Yeah.
But at least I have efficacy in the world, right? Because if it was
Yeah.
any other way, then I would just be doomed to never be relevant to anything, right? And it's like it's good that there's turnover on gyms because that means that if you go out to try to take a gym with some friends, like you're gonna be successful. You're not gonna like go out and play 2 games of Dota and lose 50 MMR and then go home and be like, well, not playing this game again.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a fucking curse that you can't like hold territory and fucking be like, haha, I'm the king, I rule everything. But then if you ruled everything, you would stop playing. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, and at the same time, you know, it I don't know, yeah, like you said, it does provide that little bit of incentive and the reward for you know owning a gym. You guys have been collecting the defender bonuses, right?
I've
When I
never
can.
done that. I don't actually know what happens when you control one. I put my
You
one
get
Pokemon in
coin-
and I was ready, but no.
So
You get coins and Stardust.
yeah, and it's like 1,000 Stardust and 10 coins. I want to say.
It's
Okay,
like
cool.
80 coins and 500 Stardust. I'm pretty sure.
All right, so I'm not like fucked for.
Oh,
never having
I
a
know
gym.
it's 10 coins.
So
I'm positive.
oh, maybe it's only 10 coins. I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's
So
cool,
how
though.
much real money have you guys spent on this game?
0.
I spent $5 to buy Pokeballs initially before I discovered the drive around the campus trick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I
hear
will
it.
not.
Let's hear it.
I spent $20.
Okay, that's not
Oh,
too bad
that's
for
not-
you.
yeah.
Which is not that much. Yeah. Well, also like my excuse always is like I don't have other hobbies that like so like when I buy Dota items or when I buy like coins in Pokemon Go, like I'm like it's a free game and I've spent like hours and hours and I'm having a ton of fun with it. I'm totally down to spend $20 on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I had spent
I would
$20 on this
I would pay
game,
$60 for this game. Honestly,
if I had spent $20 on this game, I wouldn't feel bad just because I can't remember the last thing that got me to go out and walk 30 kilometers in a week. You know,
yeah.
Right.
So-
I don't know what that was or when that
Yeah.
ever happened before.
So like the main reason I've spent money on it, and like you were saying this at your office, Cyphus, is at my house, at my office, I find Pokemon occasionally, but at my house when I'm like sitting watching K dramas or like whatever, or watching streams, and I have my phone open, I can literally have it open for hours and nothing will pop up because I live in like a boring suburban area with one Pokestop like a block down the street and one gym 3 blocks away and nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I just don't get spawns. So I initially spent like $10 just to buy incense so that I could like do something while I'm sitting at home after a run or whatever. Compared to having to constantly go out and walk, which is not like, you know, if it's like midnight, like sometimes I'll go out and walk if I see like a really cool Pokemon, but usually I'll just like pop an incense. It costs me like 50 cents or whatever per 30 minutes and just hang out and like catch Pokemon. So that's kind of why I initially spent money. Also Pokeballs. And this is a big complaint. I don't remember what levels you guys said you were. But as you get higher level, especially like if you're level 5 listening to this, you'll end up spending like 8 Pokeballs on like a garbage like transfer fodder Pidgey because like you're just running into CP 200 Pidgeys because that's just the way the game scales. And unless you want to run away from stuff, which seems like I don't like you, things are scarce enough where I am that like I don't run away from anything.
I don't run away from no fight.
But so I would just like run out of Pokeballs because it's like, right, it's a Zubat. I don't want to spend Great Balls, and I don't like. I can only spend so many Pokeballs and Pokestops. Like I hit maybe 6 a day, which translates to like 20 Pokeballs at best, and like I'm throwing Pokeballs while the entire time. So I really wish a lot of people on Reddit were talking about, especially this is way worse for rural areas. Like I'm suburban, so like I don't have it nearly as bad as people that are in like the middle of nowhere that are like, yeah, I have to travel 5 miles to get to a single Pokestop.
Yeah.
Because
Pouring
those
out for the
people,
farmers.
those people like they can't play this game unless they spend money. So a lot of people were proposing like a stipend where like every day you get 20 Pokeballs or something.
So what I think their solution that they're going to try to implement for that is reading an article earlier today that Niantic had released.
They're adding places.
Yeah, they released their contact form so that you could request a Pokestop and request a gym at a particular location.
Yeah, they took that down.
Oh, really? I'm sure they got flooded.
Many. Yeah, they got flooded. My friend that I was talking about earlier with the Dragonite near her, she was just like, I was talking to her and she's like, yeah, like what do you do for Pokeballs? I was like, well, you got to hit Pokestops or buy them. And she's like, well, I'm not gonna buy them, and I have like one Pokestop near me, so she just can't play the game. And it's like, you know, those kind of situations are not good for the game. So hopefully they address it soon. And I've already heard a lot of reports of people saying like, oh well, my town just in the space of the last day added a gym and added 5 Pokestops, and like even like generic stuff like. Remember something I read, it was like, yeah, my town's so insignificant, the McDonald's is our biggest Pokestop.
Well, you know why that is. Did you read the article about McDonald's doing their first being the first Pokemon Go advertising campaign?
Really? I've just heard a lot about businesses like businesses that are Pokestops having lures running and advertising that. Because honestly, I would go to places if they have lures. That would be a deciding factor in where to eat.
Yeah. We have a boba
a
boba tea spot that does that. They have 2 lures like that just barely overlap right around the business because of 2 historical spots right near them. And they throw up lures constantly, and people are there. They're drinking boba teas, playing fucking Pokemon, sitting in the lobby.
Yeah, I would love just fucking like find a spot like that and just open a company there. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do, like you'll be successful.
Just go open up a lemonade stand on the corner, proud, right by the Pokestop.
Sell some socks. Like, hey, your socks getting sweaty, you're walking around too much. Buy some new socks for them right now. Yeah, don't. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be terrible for you.
But it's so. Go ahead.
I've also heard of like, I feel like this is more of along the lines of like urban legend, but a lot of people are talking about how some houses now, their listings, like additional information in the end is like close by to 3 Pokestops, like stuff like that, because people care about these things. And yeah, I'm hoping that they roll out more Pokestops in general. And like, I'm not really hurting, but I'm just, like, there are a lot of people that like, if you don't have enough Pokestops, like this game is not playable unless you spend a bunch of money. And like even like $10 will buy you like a couple hundred balls, and even that, like you'll burn through 200 balls in like 2 days of like good playing.
That's true.
It's weird.
And it
I
always
just
harder.
I haven't had that issue because we do have just a number of stops nearby. It's super easy for us to get to them.
Yeah, I can like but sometimes the map becomes like you can't interact with shit and you have to like restart the app or restart your phone or whatever. Does that ever happen to you guys?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
all
Like
Yeah.
on a like every other opening basis.
the time. Yeah.
So like when I'm walking around, like there's this place called The Hook, which has a shit ton of poker stops and like a wharf and shit, and it's really great. That's where I go. So like I walk around there and then I do a loop, and then at some point I'll restart my phone, and then all the stops will refresh for me. So I'm like, all right, guess I'll do another loop, and I'm just like, my bag is full, and it fucking like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of downtown. Well,
Yeah,
our downtown area,
of
we can
Pokemon, man.
we can walk down and then walk back, and you can literally hit each stop twice along the way. And yeah, you'll load up on items and have to get rid of shit. So it was Redditors that discovered decompiled code in the Android and iOS versions of Pokemon Go earlier this week that indicated a potential sponsorship deal with global burger chain McDonald's. So then a source came out and confirmed it. They're going to pick a country in Asia to start with it, and literally every McDonald's restaurant in the country will either become a Pokestop or a Pokegym as part of the advertising campaign. And then some people, the rumors are that basically there'll be gyms that offer better rewards for holding. There'll be Pokestops that pay out more stuff. There are a ton of genius advertising concepts that could be pulled together with this game. When you consider all the the geolocation stuff, it's brilliant. It's
wild. Like I would honestly obviously I'm not a business owner, but if I owned a small, hard to believe, but if I owned like a small bar in Brooklyn and down the street there was a bar that is worse than me but has a Pokestop with a lure, the bar down the street is gonna attract a lot of business that I'm gonna be losing out on. And if Niantic had one of these propose a Pokestop kind of forms, I imagine a lot of business owners would be like, hey, I want a Pokestop in my bar or in my restaurant or in my coffee shop or what have you, because that's
maybe that's why
silly,
they pulled it back, because why not sell that? You know what I mean? Why not build an order form instead? Fuck a suggestion form. Here's an order form.
Franchising.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's, I don't know. It's just one of those weird meshes. They called it augmented reality, and that it's strangely apt for everything else that's associated with it.
Really, they should just have it be right. There's 10. God, now here's where I realize that I don't know how big a square mile is. They should say all right, let's say there's 100 Pokestops per square mile, and just have that be consistent everywhere. And that way rural areas don't get shafted. And if you go to New York City, which I avoid like the plague, I hate the city, but
fuck New York City.
A lot of my friends work in the city because we live really close. And they send me pictures, and it's they walk 5 feet and they hit 5 lured Pokestops because it's just obviously population density.
Yeah.
But those people have such an advantage over other people. And my friend who works in the city, he dominates our town because he can power level effectively in the city while he's at work, because he works in between 2 Pokestops, because there's 16 Pokestops per square block. And he's just really high level, even though he's played less than me and less than I'm sure a lot of people, just because he happens to go to the city. And that kind of stuff is larger in the game.
Yeah.
Doing a set number of stops per square, whatever the fuck, I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they had to be square kilometer for them.
Yeah. When are we going to get on the metric system here in the
communists.
US? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, people were joking that this would finally put America on the metric system.
That would be fucking awesome.
You saw the Google trends, right? Of the massive spike in how far is 5 kilometers in miles, how far is 2 kilometers in miles.
I was part of that. Flub was
I did too.
How long did you walk during that walk? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Let me check.
5 kilometers, whatever that is in real distance.
I just approximate. Isn't it 2 kilometers a mile, give or take?
Yeah, it's
emphasis on the take.
Let's see, kilometer to mile.
Oh God, I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna say 1.6 something.
1 kilometer is 0.62 miles. So 2 kilometers is 1.2. So a mile and a quarter.
Okay, that's what I always just assumed.
But yeah, God, this game. We should do another episode where we just go through fucking news stories I mean, the stuff that's coming out of it, like the
A
girl
lot
finding
of those are fake.
well,
a great deal of those are fake.
yeah, a good chunk are, but the ones that are real.
Tell me, people lie on the internet.
Yeah,
Is the girl finding the body even real? I'm pretty sure that one was fake.
was it?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, dude. She lived in like the middle of nowhere. Like that stuff happens.
I believe that it happens, but I remember like one of the stories that got big was like confirmed fake.
Yeah,
that was
it was just, like,
the
like
freeway
shit.
accident. I'm pretty sure. I
yeah,
mean,
that was like the most fake video I've ever seen in my entire life, and people were tweeting about that. And I was like, did you not enlarge this and see like the World War Z-esque animation of people? Like there's no way this looks at all real to anybody who's not blind. But people were like tweeting about it because then nobody looks at anything. But that's a larger.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the
if
dead
they
body,
were
the dead
blind-
body's legit. That's I'm assuming CNN's not gonna, without printing a retraction of some sort.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, let's not go too far. But fucking. All right. So if you were blind, though, it wouldn't look like anything, right? Can we agree on that? Like, you wouldn't say this wouldn't look like that unless you were blind. Like, you would say if you're blind, it wouldn't look like. I'm just trying to get the discourse correct here, okay?
Oh well.
as someone who tutors two legally blind children, I will tell you, blindness is a scale, not a
Okay.
like.
That's fair. If you
lots
want to
of
go
people,
by, yeah, that's
I have
fair.
a legally
lots
blind
of
father.
people are blind, but aren't like seeing darkness at all times. Like they can approximate things.
Okay, all right, but I mean,
And
that's,
light and
I don't
distance.
know.
and-
Do we? Is there another term for like actually no sight and then like legally blind, quote unquote, which is very different from legally blonde?
Generally, they just say blind or legally blind, but legally blind people still like have to check the blind box like on various forms and stuff. So
Well, now I'm upset about our use of language for.
Thank you for
blindness.
joining the Legally Blind podcast.
Yeah. I was, and then there's also like other scales. Like I was illegally driving because I was too blind to drive, despite not being legally blind for a while because my glasses were so out of date. So now I can see again, which is nice. I mean, that's a tangent.
Yeah.
I've been too cool to drive before, but that's the only thing that's really happened to me.
Yeah,
I
could see you being one of those guys that's too cool to drive.
I'm very cool at all points in
He
time.
likes being driven.
You and Wazoo are gonna get along well.
Chauffeured, I prefer to say.
Wazoo is too cool to drive.
Dude, I actually really like being driven around by people. It's like so great. Or just like riding in a car with someone. I love that shit, man. Cars are awesome. Just like
I
going
just don't
somewhere
like
with a
driving.
person. It's great. Yeah, driving itself kind of sucks, but I don't know. Like I was living alone for a while, and then like I went to a friend's house, and then he like drove us to a restaurant, and I was like, man, I remember this. This is nice.
Not to get off on some weird driving tangent, but I always
Here we
feel
go.
bad. I always feel bad because I'm like, I just really don't want to drive, so I always have an excuse or like just not offer to drive when we go out drinking. And it's not because I'm like so dedicated to drinking and just want my friends to drive me around. It's more that I don't want to drive. Like I'd be totally happy not driving and still having to be totally sober. It's just that I don't want to drive. And I feel like people think that I'm just some like alcoholic that's like, yo, I never want to drive to any bars.
You guys heard it here first.
I am always the designated driver because I don't drink, but I just like playing other people my music because that's really all I live for, honestly.
Oh god.
That's why I started streaming,
I
and
know
that's why
I
drive.
now know who you are, Proud. It took
All
this
right, I
this
feel like you
episode.
don't.
No,
feel
I
like
do.
You don't.
I
but
do.
you're making
I knew
assumptions.
two. All I needed to know were those two things. You like having people drive you around, and when you drive, you like forcing your music on other people.
Whoa!
I've
whoa.
already
Here's the first
identified
thing
who
I
you
asked
are.
When, I drove someone. I drove
fight.
someone yesterday, and I was
Kiss.
like, "What music do you not like?" Because I want something palatable for the both of us. Because I have broad tastes, and I say, you know what? Whatever you like, I want to open you up to the world.
Yeah.
I wanna show you what.
Yeah.
Show you some. I want us to share an experience.
The Great
Like, that's
Enlightener. The Great Enlightener. Of course. Now I see
No.
why you chose yellow. You pompous bastard.
Half of why I like fucking like finding music and shit is to like share it with another person, and then we connect over, and it's great. Anyway, fuck you. You're a bitch. Mystic ass piece of shit trying to psychoanalyze my shit when I'm just trying to fucking communicate
got
with
all
you.
the psychoanalysis
Oh my
done I
God.
needed to this episode.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm
so much
tired.
revealed.
See,
So
this
much
is-
revealed
this
on
is
this
why-
episode.
This is why everyone likes. You know, that was me. Never mind.
This is It's funny because
Even
this interaction between the two of you is like only a third as exhausting as listening to Proud talk to Roland, and like probably 2 times less confusing and uncomfortable than Proud talking to Wazoo, which was an experience because Wazoo did not get the interaction.
Me and Wazoo are on the level, dude. He likes Jurassic 5. We're set.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know who
Modest
introduced
Mouse,
him to
we're
Jurassic
good.
5, sir? Yeah.
Me.
Me.
Was
That's
it
who.
Ursinity?
Yeah, I am big on the industrial punk.
I
Whatever.
get
don't know what
made.
that band
I
is.
get
Like youth coach?
Jurassic 5 is hip hop, all right, and
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I
yeah.
get shit for loving the J5, all right. Yeah, I get shit
Dude,
for
quality control. Oh my god.
it. Yeah.
This became a music
Fucking kill
podcast.
me. Yeah, it's just so good.
We'll have
Anyway.
we could have a Jurassic 5, jerk off podcast sometime. I'd be all about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to see them live last year when they went back out
Oh
on
my
tour.
gosh,
Yeah, it was
I'm
awesome.
hyped. Anyway, the Pokemon.
Pokemon's
Which
awesome.
Pokemon would Jurassic 5 be? No, shut the fuck up.
All right, we
Execute,
should close this
because
out.
There's 5 of them.
Execute. There we go. Dude, I love that fucking picture of someone hatching and executing from an egg, and they're like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?"
All right, I'm doing it. I'm closing us out because we've gone an hour. That seems good. I'd be down to talk about this again, see where you guys are at in another week. All right, folks. If you guys want to find us, we're defenseofthepatients.com or Defense of the Pokemon.
Wait, I want to
maybe.
append some things.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
well, not really. I just some corrections.
Okay.
Aquila is Aquila.
Okay.
It is known. I've been saying it wrong, good sir, on Twitter. You are totally right, but I just like saying Aki, so fuck you. I'll try to not.
Aquila?
Like, I hate when people say shit wrong. Yeah,
Aquila?
dude, like Ring of Aquila, but I like saying I like shortening it. Like you can't shorten that to but and like calling Aquila, like that's too many
Ak.
syllables. So I just want to call it Aki.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I
I
don't
like
know.
calling it Aki too.
How about Roa? Like Ring of Aquila, ROA, Roa. Roa is cool. Anyway, finding cool ways to say things is what's important because talking is boring as shit.
As long as you don't say guillotine.
Also, yeah. Fucking melee creeps versus siege creeps. It's like melee creeps do like 60% or something close to 50% of a catapult. So like 2 melee creeps equals a catapult, basically. Just food for thought. Against towers. And what else? Was there anything else? Oh yeah,
This is
talk
like
about
our
Weaver builds.
retractions.
Yeah, this is the
Hey,
corrections
you know what? Dota's
department.
a complicated as. Hey, I mean, like I value saying the right thing, and you know what? Dota, a lot of things come up. We're just talking casually, and then after the episode, I listen to it, and I'm like, these things are interesting. Oh yeah, when I was talking about what heroes or like when to pick what carry, I said don't pick Juggernaut against Timbersaw. That I meant Sven. Don't pick Sven against Timbersaw. Anything else, Sven is fine. Let's see. What else? What else did I fuck up? I'm a fuck up.
I don't know. I would make retractions, but I've never said anything wrong in my entire
Yeah,
life. So
you've never
just
made a
continue.
mistake in your life, so it's fine. I listened. I mean,
Defenseofthepatients.com.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
At
I'm
Doppy
glad Silas
_
caught
show
on.
on
I'm
Twitter.
gonna die.
If you guys want to support us, go to patreon.com /Defense of the Patients. All proceeds go to Ursi's alcoholism and, fixing
my PayPal.
Proud's pronunciation of
My
Dota
PayPal.
words.
I'm really proud of you, Cyphus, because you figured out that the way you host a show with Proud on it is you just cut him off.
Yeah, you just gotta
You let
go.
him go.
And I cut.
And
You just be rude and you
Yeah.
cut everyone off. As
It's
soon
the
as
mystic
they're-
way.
If you say something you're not interested in, just let me finish and then completely change the subject. That's the
Yeah.
best way to go.
Defenseofthepatients at
Great for me.
gmail.com is our email. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, all your favorite podcast apps just by searching Defense of the Patients. Go leave us a review. Roland loves those, and Proud, I'm sure he does too.
I haven't even read one yet. Where the fuck are they? Show me the goddamn reviews.
Oh, well, you just go to
You're like
iTunes.
a princess in a tower. I don't get to see anything.
All right, I'm going to start sending you the reviews, and you can
Thank
read them
you.
on Theorycraft
Oh
Thursdays.
my gosh, thank you so much.
I'm going to. I would much
Oh
rather.
my
In
God.
fact, or we'll just have a little Proud Reads a Review section that goes on all the shows.
That sounds so romantic.
I could just kiss you.
If that was not motivation enough, if you have not reviewed Defense of the Patients on iTunes, go do it now. Give me your best reviews, and I'm gonna make Proud read them for you. And I'm gonna air it. I'm gonna air a new one before every show, so long as those reviews keep coming in.
Oh,
So-
and if any of you could send me a picture of your ankles with like green Sharpie on them, I would really appreciate it.
I don't know that I even want to know.
Just keep doing the plugs, buddy.
Yeah, could you just? I don't know why you had to stop.
You can find Proud at Proud Dota. You can find Ursinity at Ursinity. Did I get those both right?
Yes.
All right, look at that. And
Gives a shit.
I'm at Dot
P
You can find Flub
Cyphus.
at Flub Dota.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can find Flub at Flub Dota.
We love
He's
Flub
the
around
liquid
here.
ret of us, by the way. He is our liquid ret. If you get that joke, I love you. If you don't, then I don't know. It doesn't change my opinion that much.
Does Flub play Pokemon Go?
We have a Twitch
Not
channel,
really.
twitch.tv/.ptv.
Oh, and the youtube.com/.ptv1, where we're uploading all of the episodes now. Folks can go find it. Again, sorry about the massive feed update that everybody got. I had no control. It
This
was
is
me
so
who did
fucking
it.
fascinating. I'm so interested in you apologizing for this feed update. That is way more
I have.
interesting than
It's
feed
the
update
one
itself.
I have. Rarely do we get people
And
like.
you're still talking about
I am,
it. is the
because
funny
rarely
thing.
do we get people like hit us up with like super negative stuff, but this provoked so much hate from
Okay.
people who follow us
All
on
right, that's
YouTube.
valid.
I got a ton of there were comments on the YouTube channel, emails, like people were pissed that we just
Yeah.
flooded their feed with .p
I
episodes.
will say the like shitty small talk that I instigate during the plugs that ensures that people actually are slightly entertained while they're listening
Yeah.
to
No,
them. So you can thank me
you're a
later,
pro.
you fucking dumbass
You're
bitch.
a pro.
Yeah, that's why I was on the Wednesday show.
Yeah, we
Pro
appreciate
show.
it. Oh, well, there's that too, you know. All right, that's it. I think that's all we got. So, yeah.
Peppered palm.
Until
and
next time, this is Cyphus for Acidity,
cayenne
for
in my
Proud,
hat.
and Flub, even though he's not here, saying
For
good luck and
Trying to get
Godspeed.
these Pokestops.
Team Mystic,
I
Team
don't-
Mystic.
Son,
Whoa.
where'd you find
I
this?
got 2 phones, one for the hoes in Pokemon Go. I got 2 phones playing so much of my battery's low. Think I need 2 phones. Pokestop keep spinning. Double up and don't spin. Pokestop don't spin. I got 2 phones, one for the hoes in Pokemon Go. I got 2 phones, all of these bitches are out of control. I got 2 phones. Pokestop keep spin. Hello, double up and don't spin. Hello, Pokestop and don't spin. Button start the journey, man, my legs are hurting. I've been walking around since fucking 7:30. Average on the map, but he do me dirty. Trying to take a gym, niggas in a hurry. CP coming up, everybody worried. Check my Pokemon, all my niggas sturdy. Can't nobody tell me Pokemon is nerdy. I'ma go to bed so I can wake up early. Look at my face, but this shit ain't a game. I don't want some, I want all of them, man. He run the gym, you would think that I'm blamed. Leaving the poses in fire and flame. Don't got the CP to back up your claim. Can't get your Caterpie off with your aim. Take over gyms and it's off with your name. I got 2 phones, one for the hoes in Pokemon Go. I got 2 phones playing so much that my battery's low. Think I need 2 phones. Pokestop keep spinning. Double up and don't spin. Pokestop don't spin. I got 2 phones, one for the hoes in Pokemon Go. I got 2 phones, all of these bitches are out of control. I got 2 phones. Pokestop keep spinning.